Welcome back to the session of soft skill development. In this session, I'm going to discuss what are the probable interview questions. How do you divide interview questions? Basically, when you enter to the HR round, there are different varieties of questions you may receive. Basically, the interview questions have been divided into three. The first category, traditional questions, then behavioral questions, and finally, opinion-based questions. It is very essential you need to prepare before entering to the HR round. You should have a good idea. You have to express by your own manner, your own view. Then only you can shine during the HR round. First of all, you should be yourself. However, let us proceed. What are the expected questions? What are the possible questions in each category? Moving further, I would like to discuss what are the probable traditional questions you may receive during HR round. First of all, the general question, like everywhere you can expect this question, tell me something about yourself. That is a most common question you can expect. Try to conclude the self-introduction within 1 minute. Don't be elaborated. Second one is, why do you want to work for our company? Why should I hire you? What is a what are the role? Why you will be hired? Find out the certain answer. You can talk about the company and you can speak about your quality and job profile, etc. What are your greatest strength and weakness? Explain the strength and weakness. Okay, so that also you can plan well. Why are you looking for a chance? That's also a quite common question. Tell me about the gap in your resume. So should have a frank opinion. Okay. How would you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10? Suppose I may be saying that I'll be rated with a scale of 10 or scale of 9. What is the reason? You have to justify. Another one is, what is your biggest achievement so far? Till now, what is your greatest achievement? You may be a rank holder, maybe a gold medalist, or maybe a PhD holder. Try to justify. Where do you see yourself in another 5 years? In the sense, you need to prepare for the short-term goal as well as long-term goal. Another one is, why should we hire you? That is almost similar. See, you can see this. Why do you want to work for our company? Almost you can relate, correct? So these 2 points you can correlate each other. These 2 points. Okay, both are interconnected. Next, how do you deal with criticism? Remember that every organization, if you are working, definitely some criticism will be there. It may be good or bad. So how you are reacting, how you are dealing with the criticism. It is a quite common because all are human beings. Definitely, there are some pros and cons for every person. So definitely, there are certain criticism. How will you manage? How will you deal? Or how will you face with the criticism? What would be your response? See, suppose a person A is criticizing person B. What could be the response of person B? Understanding now. So what would be your response? So these questions can be basically classified into traditional type question. Let's have a discussion on behavioral type questions. The first point, tell me about a time when you were not satisfied with your performance. That is also a quite natural question. So you need to find out a suitable answer from your own manner. Try to remember that speak positively. Don't be negative. Always you should have a positive attitude. That should be your success. Tell me about the time when you were made to work under close supervision. Definitely this kind of situation also you may be facing. You should be pre-planned. Can you tell me about a time where you were happy with your work and what was your reaction? It's a human tendency. Sometimes we'll be happy. Some another time it may be a tough time. We'll be sorrow. We'll be sad at that moment. How will you face those situations? Tell me about a time where you experience difficulty at work while working on a project. Definitely, you need to meet the deadline. Meeting the deadline is a challenging. How you are managing your stress. There are different levels of stress. Correct. So it should not move on to depression. So how you are managing with the stress? Stress management is very essential. Also the time management. How you should be a good time manager. Then tell me about a time where you displayed leadership skill. Are you a good leader? This question is nothing but they'll be checking whether there should be a good leader in you. Okay, are you a good leader? Do you have a leadership quality? Because in a company, remember that people should work with a team. It is not like an individual work. So, can you make a team player? So, are you a good leader? So, will you be a manager? Do you have a managerial skill? For such kind of things can be obtained from if I ask a question about tell me the time where you displayed your leadership skill. Definitely, maybe you might have done a project in your final year BTech. You may be a team leader. You have coordinated the technical activity. You developed the project. You did the documentation. So all the coordination you have done, right? And the funding. Likewise, you can justify. How did you handle disagreement with your manager? There are different opinions. Sometimes we may not like whatever manager speak. Sometimes manager speaks wrong. How will you manage? Okay, because all are human beings, right? Okay, there are certain age difference. So how will you manage the situation? So these are the wonderful and very pre-planned questions before entering to the cabin of human resource. Definitely, they are going to check your behavioral skill, how you are going to behave in those situations. Correct. So it is very essential that before going to the HR round, you need to be have by your own answer. Remember, one tips I want to tell you that don't go for negative. So please try to avoid the negative type answers. So think always positively. You should create a positivity in your mind. Okay. Let's have a brief discussion on the third level of questions, that is opinion based question. Remember that there is no right or wrong answer regarding this kind of opinion based question. Opinions are differed from people to people. I have one opinion, you may be having different opinion. Nothing is right or wrong. That first of all you have to remember. Some candidates, they are always worry about whether the answers are right or wrong. So such kind of concept you have to get rid of that. So whatever you are saying, no, you have to justify. You should be capable of justifying your points. That is the major criteria. So we have already made a video on how to prepare group discussion. Please go through that. It will be really helpful for job aspirants. Moving further, first question. Consider a situation or a scenario. You win $1 million lottery. You are presuming that you are the winner of the lottery. Would you still be working condition? Suppose you are become a crorepati. Will you be working or not? That means your passion. They are going to check your passion. They are going to check your attitude. Are you a money-minded person? Okay, so money is very important factor in our life, but not for everything. Am I right or not? Yeah. What would you do if you were working under bad boss? I already mentioned that people are different. Sometimes, fortunate, you may be working under a good leader. So there are different people. Our mentality will not match. So how will you manage? Because you need to spend more than 8 to 9 hours in a workplace. Almost your 70% of the lifetime will be spent in the workplace only. Then how will you manage with the boss? There are different people, no? Yeah. What do you think is an ideal work environment? So what are the characteristics of an ideal work environment? Remember that in the world, there won't be any type of ideal work environment. Okay, definitely there are conflicts, there are opinion difference, and there are positivity, there are negativity. Correct? We need to find out the positivity. That is your great attitude, right? When it comes to another question, what does motivation mean to you? What is a motivation? So, what is the difference between fear factor and motivation? As a leader, you have to motivate the employees, and you need to motivate by yourself. Okay, avoid fear factor. Fear factor is a negativity. Correct? Yeah. What is your dream company like? What is the dream offer? What you want to be? So that's a simple question. Find out your own answer. There should not be any artificiality. Your answer should come from your mind itself. But planning before entering the HR, before meeting the HR, you need to find out the structured answer. That is very essential, right? Your preparation matters a lot. 80% of the things are with your hand only, right? Next is, what do you ensure that a certain number of tasks is completed effectively? How you are planning? So how to complete the, suppose a task is assigned, how you are managing to complete the task? If you were reborn as an animal, what animal would you want to be? Definitely, according to me, in the next birth also, I want to be a human being, right? Your own answer will be different. There is no ideal answer. What would you prefer, being liked or being feared? Okay, that is also a wonderful question. So I request everyone, you have to take one pen and paper, write by your own view. Just make a restructuring of those views. That is lot more sufficient for answering this question. Definitely, you can crack the HR round. These are the day-to-day life questions related to day-to-day life, and no, there is no innovation required. Whatever comes to your mind, you have to speak up with a positive attitude. Every time in a life, we need to maintain positive attitude. That is a moral. I would like to. I wish you all the very best for your placements. Get clear the HR round. Wish you all the best. Have a great career ahead. God bless you.